What's up, fight fans? Thank you once again for coming through, much appreciated. Remember, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. If you're not new and you've come back to watch another video, yes, I say it all the time, but thank you very, very much. All right, let's talk Eddie Hearn, Boxnation, Frank Warren, and I think Eddie Hearn losing sight of what helped and what made, I think, Matchroom initially. So I'm talking way back in the day when he signed the likes of Kell Brook to a contract and Carl Froch. I think, or I thought, what the aim was, as I think the aim should still be, is to sign and promote the best talent. One thing I've always lauded Eddie Hearn for was the fact that I think he's a very good promoter. Almost not as good as the likes of a Dana White from the UFC, but I kind of felt like the other promoters, i.e. the old school ones, that the Don Kings, Bob Arams, even to an extent Oscar De La Hoya, was stuck in the mud, stuck in the rut in terms of how to promote fighters. And I thought Eddie Hearn clearly had an idea how to promote fighters. He spoke well, and I feel like he's lost sight of that a bit. And it was brought to the head for me, when obviously last week we all found out that Lee Selby and James DeGale have, I think, signed promotional contracts, or their fights will at least be shown now on Boxnation. I done a top 10 pound for pound British fighters about a month ago, and I think within my top 10, in my top 6 or 7, I definitely had Lee Selby, Billy Joe Saunders, James DeGale, and Carl Frampton, all now signed to Boxnation. So that's 4 of, I think, the best 7, all signed to Boxnation, all of them. There are big rumours as well that Amir Khan's next fight will be on Boxnation. So again, Amir Khan signed in some sort of TV contract, whatever, but he still has linked himself to Boxnation. And for me, it's not good. It's not good for Matchroom. This is going to sound so crazy, but you kind of might understand where I'm going with this. I'm in Nigeria right now. Nigeria, when it found oil, it kind of fucked the country up. The country was not great anyway to an extent, but it fucked the country up. A few people got super rich and everyone else just got uber poor. And there was no case of, we need to try and find ways to make other money. It's because oil's here, we don't need to do anything anymore. And now oil's running out, people are starting to panic a bit. Eddie Hearn found AJ. And it was oil, gold, platinum, diamonds, all in one. And I think he's almost forgotten about some of these other pieces right now. That's what I think, right? And he's trying to bring them back again, but I think he's forgotten about his other pieces. And I felt like the likes of Lee Selby, who I think is arguably, for me, the best boxer in Britain. I've said this a few times, I still think he is the best boxer in terms of a pure boxer. James DeGale, I don't know how you cannot promote James DeGale. I don't know how you can't promote someone that is arrogant, cocky, fantastic, arguably the best super middleweight in the world, and has at least 4 or 5 more good fights in it, at least, right? Carl Frampton decided to go to Boxnation as well, BT, Frank Warren. So I think there's a problem here. And I think boxers might be seeing it. I think your sole focus, or Eddie Hearn's sole focus right now, seems to be on AJ, and I understand that. But I feel like you can't put your sole focus on one boxer. Yes, that boxer brings you shitloads, but you'd rather have it spread amongst 10 rather than just have it as one. And I feel like that's where we are right now. You look at who is a superstar or a boxer or a good name on that Matchroom ledger, and I guess Tony Bellew maybe springs to mind. Kell Brook, we don't know what's going on with Kell Brook right now. Is he still a big name? I'm not sure. Is he pay-per-view? I'm not sure. And then he's trying to promote other fighters that are coming up slowly, the likes of Katie Taylor, Burnett. But again, you look, and then you struggle. When I look at what Boxnation have got, and I look at Billy, established people now, established boxers, and I just think just need a good promotion around them. And I thought Eddie Hearn was able to do that. James DeGale, Lee Selby, as I said, Billy Joe Saunders, Carl Frampton, possibly Amir Khan. I just don't know if Eddie Hearn's taking a risk here with putting all these eggs into one basket with AJ. Because when it does crumble, and inevitably in boxing you do get beat, it does crumble. You look around and you don't see who else is pushing, who else the stars are. And I think you saw that by the recent pay-per-view. That bill had upcoming talent, but when you look at the likes of maybe Bullioni on it, you think, really? You know, and then it had lower guys that maybe make, you know, 4 or 5 fights in. Callier fight, again, I don't think been promoted well, and I feel like Eddie Hearn's just lost sight of the promotion of what to do. I think his focus is so much on AJ, so much on setting up this Matchroom America, where I think the competitions are a lot stiffer. Big promoters out there. He doesn't really know how it works out there. Lou DiBella kind of spoke about this, didn't he, recently? But it's interesting. I think the tide is slowly turning, and I think fighters will start to go back or look at Frank Warren as a viable option. And I think Carl Frampton certainly wants to look at Frank Warren. When he got an offer from Eddie, says a lot. Says a lot, but it's interesting. And what do you guys make of it? With James DeGale, Lee Selby, all those kind of good name fighters, world champions, now at Boxnation rather than Matchroom. Is it a case of Eddie Hearn just didn't want them? Or is it a case of an offer was put on the table, but the offer from Frank Warren and BT Sports was just a lot better than Matchroom? And is he putting his eggs, all these eggs into one basket with Anthony Joshua? You know, you look at it 2-3 years ago and you kind of feel like there was a couple of big names that he was trying to push. Scott Quigg was one that he was trying to push. Not necessarily even Tony Bellew. Kell Brook was one he's definitely trying to push. Obviously Anthony Joshua was coming up. You look now and I don't know, people don't seem to be happy, right? There were boos, not just about Anthony Joshua's fight being stopped earlier, but the boos about the whole show yesterday. And pay-per-view is where he makes his money, and if people are not happy about the pay-per-view shows and the fights that are being put on, people will start switching over to Boxnation and BT Sports, who I think are doing a lot of better job in promoting boxing. Not just big names fighting bums just for pay-per-view points, but I'm talking about real boxing, real good 50-50 matchups, and that's what I think I'm getting right now from Boxnation. But I don't know what you guys think. Peace.